So a lot of times we try and be creative and we get into this rut. We have writer's block, or we just feel like we are stuck in mud and we can't do anything. So there's a lot of different things that you actually can do to be proactive, to get yourself out of that rut and start creating again, or just having some more joy in your life again. So we're going to talk through several of these things. The first thing is, there's two ways. We got to deal with your negativity, and we've got to change your perspective. So let's talk about the negativity, because a lot of us are negatives, mostly self-negative, right? Okay, so what do? So the first thing I do is we have to eliminate complaining, which I know we all do. So how do we eliminate complaining? So there's a couple of different things. One is I want you to track how much you really complain in your life. Maybe it's more than you think. Maybe it's less than you think. I don't know. But you need to start being aware of your own behaviors before you can change them. So just take a week and kind of keep track of like how many times you complain, and whether it's about other people, about your life situation, or about yourself. Don't judge yourself. Allow it to come out, but just take notice. Be aware of it. The other thing I like to say is there are some things that drive us crazy, right? We have pet peeves, negative things happen. So a productive way to deal with that is, again, my timer. Set a timer for a minute and rant as much as you want about that thing in your life. Just go at it. Rant, get it out. But the second that timer goes off, you have to stop, okay? And then what I like to do is turn the timer back on, and then now you have to rant about all the good things in your life. So you get a minute to rant about the crappy things and complain as much as you want. You got to turn it off. And then you have to do a minute rant about all the things you're grateful for, all the good things in your life, okay? Then you can make a list. List all of the things that you feel like are going wrong in your life, or that are wrong with you, or whatever. Make a list. And then go through that list. What things can you change? What things can you get off of that list? And if you can practically do it, if you can do it, great, then remove it from your list. If you can't, then you don't get to complain about it. You just shift it off to the side, okay? And it's gone. If you can't change it, then don't complain about it, because it's never going to change. And what complaining does is this negativity cycle continues and continues. And if you can't change anything, it doesn't do anything but make you feel like crap. That doesn't help you. So the idea is, what can you change? What can you figure out? And there's a lot of things we can change, but there's stuff we can't. So what can you change? Change it. Or if you don't really want to change it, rant about it for a minute and then stop. And then while we do that, we also at the same time is we have to figure out like what are the things that are actually going well in our life. So whether that's a gratitude journal that you want to keep, whether that's like a minute a day you have to in the morning or at night, rant about really good things in your life. But we want to change the perspective, because when we're in this space of life sucks, we suck, everything's going wrong, you can't create in that space. You can't be a joyful person in that space. So we just need to switch your perspective. I'm not saying that your life is going to completely change, but if we have a mindset switch, you can have a lot more joy in your life. You can be a lot more creative. And the more that snowballs, the more your life will change. I want to give you power. That's the idea of like, there's this creative power and joy you can have in your life. Part of that comes from hard work, but perspective change. So you know, whether you're doing artist pages or artist dates, that will bring more joy into your life, but also being very proactive about your self-talk and not complaining, and being proactive about what you're grateful for, so that your brain spends more time there than it does in this negative rut. Because you can sink down in that mud and it's hard to get out of. So you have to really switch over here. So complaining is where it starts. So find out just how much you complain and start cutting back on that. The other thing is like, who are you hanging out with? Who are your friends? Because we have friends that are super positive and build us up, and they keep us over here in this positive, grateful mode. And then we have really negative people in our lives that like to be in this negative rut, and they want everybody else to be with them there too. And that's going to drag you down. So you have the power to be over here, but you got to change your mindset, and sometimes you got to change who you hang out with as well. And if it's family and you love them, or your best friend, like, I'm not saying get rid of them, but I'm saying protect yourself. Protect yourself. Spend as much time with these people as you can, because it makes a difference in our lives, and you are not going to be creative and you're not going to be happy in this negative rut. So how much do you complain? And stop it as much as possible. Okay? And then start being creative and finding all of the really good things that are happening, even if they're tiny. Did you get a really yummy coffee? Did you get 5 minutes to do artist pages? Like, it doesn't have to be like someone gave you $1 million or life is perfect. Nobody has a perfect life. But there are moments, brilliant, beautiful moments in our lives that we can cling to. And the more we do, the more this snowballs and the better our life becomes.